Right. Hello and welcome to the watch along for the second stage of the 2025 Hyundai Archery World Cup with me, Bernardo Oliveira, former international athlete from Brazil, Brazilian Olympic athlete, talking to you live from the Archery Plus studio at the World Archery Excellence Center in Lausanne, Switzerland. Today, I'm joined by former international athlete from Estonia and Olympic coach Siret Luik. Siret, thank you so much for coming to the show. What are you looking forward to today?
Thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to see some interesting matches because the sneak peek that I have seen from the previous sessions is that the conditions there are windy. So I hope to see some drama, some action. Or let's see if it actually happens or not.
Yeah, well, judging not only from the previous session, like the team matches that we had earlier today, but also from the previous stage, like the compound day recurve as well. But the compound was absolutely crazy in terms of drama, last moment changes, and we even saw people today shooting fives, like shoot a five with the compound.
Yes, exactly. Like I of course we all enjoy seeing everybody shooting tens, and even more the athletes enjoy shooting tens for sure. But for looking at the sport, not doing the sport, it's more interesting if someone shoots a five for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. But well, to get started, first, wherever you're watching from around the world, if you could let us know in the comments. It is 7:57 a.m. here in Lausanne in Central Europe, but most importantly, 1:57 p.m. in Shanghai. So competition, the streaming is starting very, very shortly. And how does this work? If you're new into this, first of all, we're very happy to have you here with us. But well, this is a watch along. We're here to make you company to when you're watching the feed of the actual competition. You can just, I should send on the graphics here the QR code. You have it here, right on your right-hand side, the QR code to go to Archery Plus. Don't lose any time, just head there. You're still in time to catch the beginning of the session, and then you just choose what plan is best for you, and then you can watch all the action, and we'll be here to be commentating and just be having a light-hearted chat, just talking about what we see, past experiences, and it all. So it's kind of like you're just sitting here on the sofa with us enjoying some good archery. So yeah, head over to Archery Plus, and then you can see what we are seeing just over there as well. Right? And maybe we can take a look if somebody has shared where they're watching it from and what time it is over there. Maybe some people are having very early mornings or very late evenings. But in the meantime, while Siret looks up the comments, so on the right-hand side of your screen, you have the matches that we have for this session. We have 8 matches in total. We're going to start with the compound women, the semifinals. We have Huang Yiju from Taipei facing Carson Crahy from the United States. And then we have Madhura Damangaonkar from India against Hazal Buran from Turkey. So the winners will be shooting for gold. And then we have bronze, the losers fighting for bronze for the very last step of the podium. And then after that, we have the compound men with, well, some headlight names, just like in the women's. But of course, we have Mike Schlosser, legend, who has been for so long leading the world ranking. And he is after his nth stage win. God knows how many wins he has under his belt, but he's after another one.
And I am actually struggling.
With the technology.
Yes, I need your help. I don't find the comments. That is something I didn't see coming.
I can see here, and
okay.
We have Nikki Ravi saying it's 11:30 a.m. in India. Well, it's been a good day for India already, with Indian men team winning gold, and then the mixed team winning bronze. Of course, since we touched on the mixed team, India, of course, is a country that is going to be is very happy with the news that compound mixed team is going to be at the Olympics, right?
Yes, yes, for sure. And we will see Indian archer today and tomorrow as well. So tomorrow we have Deepika Kumari shooting in the recurve women's, but today in compounds in the second semifinal we have Indian archer as well. So where else do we have viewers from? Is it India mostly, or others are shy to?
Shanghai Archery, hello to both of you. But also, to be fair, Nikki Ravi, who was saying that he was talking from India, 11:30 a.m. He was asking why there is no live cast of the game. There is. You just head to Archery Plus. Exactly. You just head to Archery Plus. There you can watch the live feed. You can watch the competition. And we're here to make you company. So here on YouTube, we have the watch along. And so you can follow the action with us. And then if you want to have the live feed, actually watch the competition, you just head to Archery Plus and you have everything there.
And otherwise, you listen to us and use your imagination. Do your best. We do our best.
Yeah.
You do your best.
Yeah, with the graphics, I'm going to be plotting the arrows and we're going to be reacting to everything. So now we have, this is an interesting new format that we have for this year. The final four is coming into the stage, into the arena first for this introduction. And then later we actually crack on with the matches. How do you like this format of like they come into the arena, say hello, and then we get the matches?
I think it is good for both sides, for spectators, because they see all four archers at the same time. And then it's also good for the archers because they get the first feel, because the first seconds you get out from the waiting room where it's quite calm, you walk out, then it's suddenly in front of the screens, the cameras, the spectators. So that moment, I think, gives you like 2 minutes to be there in this atmosphere and maybe take it in a bit, and then later it's a bit easier, hopefully.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. Also, because especially for the people who are not so familiar with archery, it seems like, yeah, archers are so calm and so composed and they have it all, under control. But that actually inside it's kind of this storm. And I really like your point that actually it's good to go out there, have that adrenaline pumping in, and then you go in for the shot.
Yes, exactly. It gives just like a softer introduction because you're out there, but you don't need to shoot yet. And then you get your composure together and you go there to shoot and solely focus on that. So, yeah. So we are waiting to start the first semi-final, right? And that comes after they have already shot many matches to actually be in the top four.
Absolutely, yeah. We see there kind of in the call room already waiting with bows and scopes and everything. Carson Curry from the United States with her coach. Huang Yiju from Taipei. I'm gonna quickly look it up, kind of the matches they had before making it here. I believe they shot 4 matches before that. So yeah, the field has really been thinned down and really filtered until they get here to the semifinal. They were shooting the individual matches back on Thursday.
Yeah.
So they had this day in between. And when I shot finals myself, I always found this day in between kind of like you're training already with the anticipation of the match.
Yes. So we see that the archers have entered the field. The judge made sure they know the shooting order, who will go first, and in seconds away from the first signal to start shooting. So let's go.
Oh, yeah. Now, you have on the right-hand side of your screen, I'm going to be plotting the arrows, the impacts, so you can follow where arrows are hitting, and then on the lower third, on the central part of the screen, we have the square. Just the
question for you, what happens if they would shoot, for example, a 6?
I can zoom out.
Okay.
Don't worry, I've got it all covered.
Because if it, like normally the compounds especially should fit in the 8 ring, but as it seems to be quite windy in the field, then we might see some some situations where it's wider.
Yeah, just look at the not only the flags above the target, but we could see the trees and now Carson's hair, the shirt. Yeah, very windy, but
she shoots a 10x.
Spot on.
Yes, very nice. So yeah, Taipei Archer opening with a 9 and US Archer opening with 10.
But there you go. We already have the first 8.
Yep. Already needing the red. Let's see if we will need the blue as well.
Oh, just on the line.
9-8 liner, so it counts as a 9 if it's already at least touching the line. You get a higher point score. And 9.
Yeah. Now 26 is in normal conditions a low score for compound, and you definitely don't want to be shooting that when you have a ticket to the grand final for gold at stake.
Yes, yes. So if you're watching archery for the first time, which I would guess most of the viewers are not, but if you are, then archers are shooting both free arrows, and then we do the scoring, collect the arrows, and another round of free arrows. And obviously, if you do the math, then 3 times 10 is 30. That's the maximum score for one set. Yeah. And right now, because it's windy conditions, neither of the archers started with 30. It's 28, 26 for the US archer.
Absolutely. Before we begin, can you just quickly explain how scoring works in compound, like when the match ends and who's the winner?
So for compound, it's we know for sure it's going to be 5 ends, so 15 arrows total. We score after every 3 arrows, so it's 5 sets. That's how we call it. And if the score is still equal after 15 arrows, then everything will come down to 1 arrow, which means that they have a shoot-off, and we will measure who is closest to the center. So all the scoring is done, arrows are collected, and the judge is giving a signal that the field is clear to go for the second set.
Here we go for second end. So end. Recurve we say sets, but compound it's ends.
Sorry.
Yeah. So just
I'm from Estonia, so in my language we have exactly the same word for that.
Yeah. Okay, Huang Yiju shooting the first arrow, 4th arrow so far in this match, and is still yet to shoot a 10.
Yeah, it's a 9 for her, and US Archer is aiming a 9 as well. So both of them started with a 9 this end, but last end there was a 2-point difference. So the Taipei Archer still needs to make it up the 2-point deficit if she wants to catch up.
Ooh, but that was a twitchy shot, huh?
Yeah,
like we could see that she was
really struggling to keep the bow steady even.
Yeah.
So
now Crahy, an X10. That's amazing precision with these conditions.
But it seemed that she was sighing out of relief after the 10. So
yeah. Now a second 26 for Huang Yiju.
Oh, it's another 10. So 29, 26 is this end. And total it gives a 5-point difference now. So that's quite a big difference for compound already.
Yeah.
However, as we all know, match is never finished until the last arrow is shot.
Yeah.
Or the difference becomes more than 10 points. But the thing is that with these windy conditions, if the wind is exactly catching or starting or stopping the moment you are aiming the milliseconds before release, then your sight might even move out of the target, which means you can shoot a miss.
Yeah. I have shot a final in the Pan American Championships where it was so windy that at one moment my sight literally went out of the target, and I was just thinking, I remember thinking to myself like, oops, no, let's bring it back. And
sometimes you can actually catch it, like still make the correction, but there are some super unlucky moments where it could go like this. And I think it was the last shot from the Taipei archer. You could see that she was really struggling to keep it in the center. So
now it's because you're talking about Huang from Taipei. You were an archer. Now you're a coach. How would you try to encourage and help an archer struggling in this early part of a match like this?
So I would remind the archer what to focus on. So really to focus on her own shot and try to less focus and don't let the wind get in the head, meaning that not to really overthink it and still do your own process, your own shot, because you cannot change the wind. You can only change what you are doing. So
yeah.
But it really seems the match is going more on the U.S. archers' direction. However, Huang did shoot the first 10.
Yeah, well, Taipei will be hoping that it's not too late to be reacting, but we did need to zoom out because
yes,
Huang...
we have a 7 ring.
Yeah, she shot a 7, so I had to zoom out here.
Yes.
Okay.
Another 10. So
yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
She maybe found a more quiet moment to shoot, or is finally figuring out how to deal with this windy situation. Wow, but
yeah,
now shooting in a windy conditions, we have 10-10-10 from Carson Grahy from USA. So not giving it easily to Huang. Maybe it's already too late for Huang, but let's see.
Yeah, it's 8-point difference provisionally. So now we have the agents and the judges checking the scores downrange, and we're gonna have confirmation in just a couple of moments. But yeah, I'm afraid that this is becoming a too steep hill to climb for Huang. Maybe.
Well, we have 9 arrow shots and 6 more to go.
Yeah.
And to stay still in competition, Huang would need to at least tie the score to have a chance at the shoot-off.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like in confound, I think this is quite like that would be super interesting if that would happen.
Yeah.
To catch up 8-point difference, but we'll see.
Yeah. But maybe, of course, you don't want to be thinking about the next match. But, you know, if you are trailing so far behind, just think that you have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
And then that you can build the confidence for the bronze medal match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it actually seems from the last 2 arrows that were both 10s for Huang from Taipei that that actually she did find either confidence or a win-free moment. But now we had the signal to start shooting for 4th end. And that is middle X10.
Bullseye.
So, yeah, very nice. It does actually, she seemed that she's even like calmer herself as well, really going with the attitude of nothing to lose. And now it is the US archer, Grahy, who needs to kind of start defending.
Mm-hmm.
If Huang manages to keep up with 10s, and she does.
And the shots are looking better as well. They're
faster as well, I think.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Grahy stops the bleeding of points.
Yeah.
Now the difference comes down to 7.
Oh,
Whoa, but it's in there.
We first saw the archer's face, which looked like, wow,
like,
where is this arrow going?
as Karim likes to call it, Bokwando.
Yes.
Yeah, but okay. Now with only one end, 3 arrows left, 7-point difference.
Yeah.
It'll take a catastrophe for Grahy to lose this one.
Yeah.
It's really hers to lose this match, and I find it really hard to see Huang applying so much pressure that Carson Grahy would lose this one. But definitely, it's about building the confidence for the next match, whatever it is, whether it's bronze or gold.
Yes. Like that's exactly what I would be at the moment telling to the coach. Like the pressure of like winning or losing is kind of off, do your best, because yes, nothing is gone yet, fully gone. Because there is also a time limit. It's not just that the archers are shooting quickly all the time. They actually can run out of time.
Yeah.
And that is a real struggle with the wind, especially. And for compound archers, sometimes it happens that even if it's super strong wind, the wind is blowing the arrow off from the arrow rest. I hope we don't see that.
Yeah, no. I think we're not to this point yet today in Shanghai.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
But we are waiting for the fifth, probably the last 3 arrows that are going to shoot.
Yeah, fifth
end.
And final end. Here we go. Huang Yiju from Taipei shooting first, as she has done at every single end this match.
She seems a lot calmer than in the beginning.
Yeah.
So it might have been the combination of nerves and wind both together. Because she was really struggling to hit even the yellow, not just talking about the 10, but now the groups in 10 are really nicely together.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that. The beginning of the match, like the start of the match nerves, they were always a hard thing for me to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, actually, if we look at the past and statistics, then what comes to World Archery International events, then Taipei Archer is more experienced. She has been around for way longer and shot even the medal matches already, I think, more close to 10 years ago were the first medals she got on the podium, either on the Asian Cups or even World Cup level. So, but this time, we had the fifth set, Huang shooting 10-9-9 and 10-10-9 by Craigie from US.
Well, her score of 145 wouldn't be spectacular in good conditions, but
wouldn't also be super bad. But today, I think it's a good score.
Yeah, but she really was unmatched by Huang Yiju all throughout the match. Taipei Archer now just has to be happy with her chance at being on the third step of the podium with bronze.
If she wins the next match.
Yeah. So the chance to win bronze. Okay, as archers leave the arena, and we're going to have the other two coming up, and I'll bring the schedule.
Yes.
You're from Estonia, and Estonia has had many strong results in compound, but and even last year, Estonia won a couple of medals in Shanghai in the mixed team and everything. But unfortunately, the Estonian team had a somewhat disappointing performance in Shanghai.
So yes and no, I would say. I think for a small country, still having 3 archers in top 32 is a good achievement. There was 3 compound archers shooting, 2 women, 1 man. And I don't think it's a bad achievement to have 3 top 32 performances, but yes, no medals, not matching to the last year's performance. But there is also a slight difference. So we used to have a women's team, which was also quite strong for really shooting the team matches. And this season we don't have women's team anymore because the third member, and coming from a small country, obviously we don't have a long lineup, is the question of funding as well. So mostly because of the funding, the third member decided not to participate anymore. And we had just 2 women, which both did well. But unfortunately, they met up together in the round of 32. So in 1/16th match, they shot against each other, and unfortunately Mary, who won Lizelle in this 1/16th match, didn't get to top 8.
The final, the final 4.
To final 4. So now we are starting with the second semifinal for compound women in Shanghai in a spectacular venue. And if you just joined us in the last minutes and don't know what is going on, we are here looking at the finals watch along, which you can actually see on Archery TV, or you can also scan the QR code that is on the screen and join us on Archery TV, and you can see the same as we do then, or listen to us and use your imagination. So we started with the second semifinal. Bernardo introduced the archers.
Yeah, and we have a 30 by Indian representative Madhura Damagaonkar. Please forgive me if that's not the best pronunciation, but I'm giving it my best. 30 by the Indian archer. And now Hazaburum from Turkey, whom we saw earlier shooting the mixed team. She got silver. Just dropping an 8 now there in the end, so already trailing by 3 points.
Yeah, 10, 9, 8, and each arrow went more further from the center to the right side. So as we said during the first match, windy conditions, really windy conditions today, and the wind is not going anywhere. So we will continue seeing reds, I believe, for compound as well.
Yeah, it's just like in Central Florida a month ago when we had the opening stage of the World Cup. It's because compound is really this game of perfection of like, it's not who gets it more in the 10, it's like who makes less mistakes.
Yeah.
But then today, it's almost kind of, they become, in this sense, a little bit more like recurve, where like every 10 is literally something to be celebrated, because under these conditions, it's so easy to go out of the yellow. And just like we're seeing, like these are top archers, and they're struggling in these conditions. So it just goes to show like how challenging it actually is out there.
Yeah. So today is a compound day. They are shooting 50 meters, and those who haven't heard yet, compound is going to be in Olympics as well in the next LA Games.
Yeah.
Yes, not only recurve anymore. And now we starting with the second end, and it's a 10 for Turkish archer.
Yeah.
Turkish archer shot first because she's behind. That's how we do in archery. And 10 points for both archers. So we go back to Turkish archer.
So far, Madhura Damagaonkar, perfect in the match. 4 arrows, 4 10s.
Yeah.
Hazel Burun seeming to find her stride. Another 10. We see her shaking her head. Just, a sign that she is...
And now we got wind, so let's see if Indian archer... Oh, she managed even with the really shaky bow and the sight
we
moving.
We could see her body.
Yeah.
Her body moving as well, yeah.
Yeah, so she still managed to find 10 and stay perfect. So 5 arrows and 10 for Indian archer.
Ooh.
And
but she
one
wasn't
more
happy.
9 for Turkish archer.
Yeah, that was also, I got a feeling she was a little unbalanced in how she finished the shot.
Yeah, so wow, that's nice from Indian archer. Another 30, but with a quite tight group for windy day. So yeah. Something
interesting that I was seeing is the fact that both of these archers, they have already been on the arena today. So Madhura from India, she shot in the compound women's team. She got silver. And Hazal Burun as well was shooting in the mixed team. So it's a very even playing conditions, shooting conditions here, because both of them, they have an experience. Because this can make a huge difference when you're shooting up against somebody who already has a little, even though it was just a handful of arrows in the arena.
Yeah.
But and now Madhura is the one who's actually nailing it, because this is impressive. This is the best shooting we have seen today so far. Just perfect, spot on. We see like on the right hand side of your screen, points average by Madhura Damagaonkar, 10.
Yeah.
Nice average.
6 arrow shot.
Yeah.
And still 10 average. It's very nice to see. I said in the beginning that I would like to see some drama and action, but it's also like I know how good it feels as an athlete, especially in windy conditions. If you manage to shoot tens, it's a great feeling. So
Yeah.
we are starting now with the third end, and let's see. We have 4 point difference, much smaller difference than we had in the last match. And Buron shoots a 10.
Spot on. Next 10.
And now Indian Archer 9. So the difference is now reduced to 3 points.
I really like her cap.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's a really cool one.
So if you can't see it but want to see, go to Archery TV.
There's the QR code here. I hope I'm pointing to the right side, because in the previous one I was pointing to the wrong side. Yeah, I'm getting it right. I can see on the screen.
Yes. She's having shaky shots, but it didn't look that it's because of the wind. Maybe it is. But I didn't see like the shirt moving or anything, but her bow was moving. But now clearly there is wind.
Yeah, whoa, now Burun.
Yes.
Whoa, moving with the wind. Ooh.
So she got the 8-9 liner, but I think she's happy with the 9 points that she got, because the wind really started to...
You would call that a 9. You're confident that's a 9?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a 9.
Okay, then let me change that, because I put it as an 8.
And last one is a 10 for Indian Archers. So we come to the score of 4 point difference. No, 3 point difference, I think.
Now, I wonder if the Turkish coach is very tall, or whether Hazal Burun is short.
She's rather short, because
she
when we
seems,
had the lineup, then both Taipei Archer and Burun from Turkey, they were more shorter than the other two archers.
Okay. Now,
And-
it's this graphic is really cool. Like this new graphic that we have, like showing the trajectory of the arrow, how high it got, and the speed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Okay, let me change this Burun's arrow.
Yeah, it was cutting the line.
Yeah, but here on Yanseo, I'm getting that it was no. But the final score we have there, yeah, it's been upgraded, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, we move on to next end.
So we have 6 more arrows to shoot, and if after 6 arrows the score is still tied, we will have a shoot off. Let's see. So again, Turkish archer against Indian archer. Turkish archer shooting first, because she's 3 points behind. But with windy conditions, I don't think that's like impossible to make up, but
Yeah.
she needs 10s, and first arrow is a 9.
Oh, Vanessa Lee there in the end. If you're following the social media this week, it's all being done by her. We could see her there in the back.
Yes.
So Vanessa Lee. It's
Yes.
been great stuff. It's been great to follow.
Yeah. I see the Indian archery is very serious, if you could say so. Like everybody have their own way of focusing and how to deal with the anxiety and how their composure looks like for them. And she seems to be like really, really trying to focus. You see the visual feedback. The coach is speaking with her, and she's like very strongly nodding or shaking the head. So
Okay.
we had 9, 10, 10 from Turkish archer, and 9, 9, and wow.
Whoa, that was some Bokwon though. That was
Yes, that was 10.
Yeah.
And she's smiling for the first time. I see her really smiling. So I think
the smile of relief.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, slowly but surely, the difference that was up
4
to
point.
4 points now is down to 2,
Yeah.
with only 2 arrows left. And I wonder if in the shot there we see Madura from India looking, as you pointed out, quite serious,
Yeah.
wondering whether she is kind of feeling the pressure a little bit, because over the last two ends, it was Hazal Burun that had the upper hand.
Yeah.
And this can be a tricky place to be in.
Yeah.
When you're feeling like, I've got something to lose. That's a very dangerous place to be in.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely need to focus on what you are doing and what you can do, not to be afraid of what might happen. Like, really deal with your own shooting, give your best, because you can't control how much the opponent is shooting. So that would be my advice, but well,
easier said than done.
Yes.
It was interesting. We had this close-up shot of Madura's release, and this brings me to another point where you can see, if you focus now on that, Hazal Burun, she uses a wrist release, which is not so common.
Yeah. It used to be way more common, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe even more.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we start with the last.
Ooh,
that's
just out.
2 millimeters out, maybe.
That can decide the match.
Yes. And we have
Madura.
10.
That's a 10.
So the difference is back to 3 points, and I think with 2 arrows it's very difficult to catch up.
Yeah.
But let's see. Who will go for gold? Who will go for bronze?
Oh,
another 9, and
another one just out.
Really unfortunate. Like, both are slightly out, and they are one side of the 10 and the other side of the 10.
And it's so funny because you can see the body language.
Wow, but we have action.
But Madura dropped an 8.
Yes.
But it's funny because I was gonna say the body language of the Indian coach is like, take it easy, like, let's keep it cool.
Yeah. Oh, but there is definitely strong breezes, because we saw the Turkish archer also struggling with the wind a lot.
Oh man.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I really didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Man, but I mean, heartbreak maybe is a strong word for this, but like the fact that Hazal Burun, she had all 3 9s so close to the 10. It's like...
Yes. Like, it could have been 3 points more if the arrows are 2 millimeters closer to the center.
Yeah, and 3 points more, she wins the match without a shoot-off.
Yeah, exactly. But at the same time, if we say the same to Indian archer, it would be the also more points, because she had the 8s just out of 9 rings. So
now that must have been a relief for Madura Damagaonkar from India.
Yes. So she's going for gold. We will have India, USA archers for gold. But first we will see the bronze match. And that is actually a tricky situation for the Turkish archer, Burun, who will now need to recover from this loss and these 3 9s that were different directions out of 10, and come back to the field again and be ready to shoot the bronze match. So actually, I'm wondering if the height and how strongly built you are is playing any role, because 2 of the shorter archers are going to face each other in the bronze. But
that could play a difference also in terms of bow weight, bow poundage.
Yes.
It could be many different things, but
many factors.
Yeah, now, if I didn't get it wrong with the graphics, you have on the right-hand side of your screen, we have an updated schedule. We have the scores. We've just had Huang Yiju lose 137 to 145, lost to USA's Carson Crahy. And we've just had Hazal Burun, who lost to Madura Damagaonkar from India, 143 to 141. That means that for bronze, we're going to have a shootout in between Taipei and Turkey. And then for gold, Madura Damagaonkar has her second shot at a gold medal today. She ended up with silver in the team competition. And then she's going to be up against very young Carson Crahy, who, despite the young age and not a lot of experience, but she's shooting so well. And we have to say that coming from the United States, if you make it to the United States compound team, you're already a very
Yeah.
good archer.
Yeah, and I think it's her third or fourth international season. So she's like she's young, but she's not a completely new face on the finals field. So I think it will be interesting. But first, we will have the bronze match, and at the moment they are giving a second for the archers to get ready, especially for the Turkish archer who just came off from the field. She got her arrows back. We can see on her on the screen how she's checking her arrows if everything is okay and good to go again, because you actually need to check the fletching. Mainly you're checking two things: the fletching, if the some fletches haven't came off, it would be very unfortunate to happen in the medal matches, but it can happen, especially if two arrows are close together in the target. And secondly, the knocks. So the if there is no cracks on the knocks. I have had the situation also that you need to check the arrow points, because in extreme heat the glue can start melting, and if the target material is very stiff, tense, the arrow points can stay in the start coming off. So as a coach or as an archer, these would be the three things to check on the arrows, I think.
Yeah. Well, athletes and coaches are coming out for the bronze medal match. I'll just take a quick look at the comments.
Yeah.
We have a funny comment here, Siret. How am I going to pronounce this? Sagata said, "What a bad idea with this watch party." Somebody, didn't like it.
So me and Bernard are watching.
Yeah.
You obviously joined us. So if we are doing something, it's a bad idea. You joined us as well.
Yeah, so I appreciate you being there with us and dropping a comment all the same. We had somebody asking, because, yes, people are saying, well, only two people sitting and talking about archery. Where do I watch the competition? QR code, just over here, Archery Plus. You head there, you can watch everything. The idea with this watch along is that, we're making you company watching the competition.
Yes. So.
Oh, I am going to apologize because
We are starting with the bronze match, and we are starting with a 10 by Huang.
Yeah.
So Huang is from Taipei. She's shooting against Burun from Turkey, and they both start with 10. But to be honest, what I'm seeing from the screen, it seems that they catch less wind with the first arrows. So they are probably happy to shoot with the not so shaky sight and bow. So that's how the start is going. We have 10-10 by Taipei archer and 10-9 by Turkish archer Burun. So Huang from Taipei shooting her third arrow, and such a nice group, XX10 in the middle. Very nice group, and she actually looks way more relaxed than she did in the past match in the semifinal. And we have 10-9-9 for Turkish archer, and she shot the nines on the right side and left side. But
this is usually a constant topic of discussion, which is, what do you prefer? To shoot the first semifinal and then you lose, and then you have that time in between before the bronze medal match for you to reset? Or you prefer to be in Hazal Burun's shoes, where you've just lost, but then you go straight back into the arena? What do you prefer?
If I can only pick one, I would choose to shoot in the first and have a small time in between. But at the same time, it would also depend on the concrete situation. So, for example, in the first match, we saw that in the first semifinal, Taipei archer was really struggling to get arrows even in the yellow in the first 2-3 sets. And then in the last two ends, she managed to shoot almost all 10s. And then, so she actually found her 10 shooting, her composure and then it might not be that bad to continue shooting right away. But on the other hand, with Turkish archer, she shot constantly tens, nines throughout the match. So maybe a break would have been good for her, but you never know. It really depends how you shoot as well.
Yeah, I get a feeling maybe the wind has calmed down a little bit, so not blowing as strong.
I guess it's just the moment between stronger breezes. I don't. Well, let's see.
Don't celebrate too fast.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw it with the last matches as well. There were moments where it was less windy, and you see now
a little hesitation there in the end by Hazel Burun. Whoa!
But a 10.
Great
10,
effort.
10.
Great effort to, despite that, put it in the 10.
Having like a very full draw, and then suddenly.
Yeah.
And that was a shaky shot and an 8.
Yeah. There you go. And it's funny because I think it's the first time I see her, Huang Yiju, right after the shot. She shoots and she looks at the big screen. I think it was the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. So 10, 10, 10, 30 points, perfect. And for Burun from Turkey. Wow, and now the wind is definitely back.
Yeah, sorry. My bad. Too much of an optimist.
Yes.
Taking her time.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna be happy. She's gonna be happy with a 9.
Yeah.
And instructions from the coach. Now, this is something that another point I wanted to touch on. In Central Florida, we had a guy from Taipei. I forgot his name. I'm sorry. That he shot really well. I think he got bronze or silver. And compound archer from Taipei. Most Asian countries usually, on the far east of Asia, China, Japan, Taipei, don't have a very long tradition in compound archery. And then, it never really caught my attention, compound archers from Taipei. And then it just seemed like compound was announced as Olympic, and then guys are shooting so strong. I know,
yeah, well, these changes don't come overnight. We both know that. But I guess they have been putting effort on both developing recurve compound side, and it has paid off. So good. But it's. I think this is the most tight match we have had so far. Out of the last 3, we only have 1 point difference. So, and actually, Burun is leading now. So we are actually changing the shooting order, and Huang from Taipei will shoot first, and we are starting the third end. And for compound.
Oh, and Huang has some cool tattoos there as well.
Yes, I think they match very well your tattoo style.
I think so.
Yes, colorful, separate items.
But hers are more colorful.
Yeah. Anyway, so back to shooting, and we have 10 and 10 from both archers. And Burun from Turkey seems a lot more composed now. Okay.
Ooh, I think that's in.
Yeah, I think it's a
hidden
10.
Hidden by the first arrow. But
I was trying to look from the side, but
really good.
Doesn't really help.
No. Kind of yeah, that's it. That's it.
So we have 10-10 from, so 3 10s from Turkish archer, 3 10s from Taipei archer. Super cool. Both sorry. Yeah, we are still missing the third arrow from Turkish archer, but it is a 10.
30-30.
Yeah, first time we have an end where both archers shoot 30.
That's right.
Maybe the wind is getting better, or they just catch a break.
Yeah, or just they're used to the wind now. Now they literally have over 20 arrows of experience in the arena. They know more or less where to aim, and both of them. They seem a little bit more chill.
Yeah, and I would say even the Burun is seeing happier and relaxed more. She definitely was more tense in the first match that we saw, and kind of seemed confused, like she didn't understand looked like she didn't understand that whether it's wind or her or combination of both. But now she's kind of like, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely, that's the face.
This is a very good feeling when you're in the arena and you're like, I've got this. I know what I'm doing. It's just wonderful.
Yeah. So she shot the 30 to maintain this 1 point lead. We have 3 ends, 9 arrows shot, and 6 arrows to go. So let's see.
Laser focus in the eyes of Taipei archer Huang Yiju, who is going to be shooting first in this 4th end. 6 arrows left. She draws the string. Wind seems to be quite calm for this particular arrow, and she capitalizes. It's funny because the last 4 arrows, she has this very nice group to the left.
Yeah, but she hasn't, well, at least I haven't seen on the screen to have the sight changed. Another 10 for Turkish archer.
Burun still on the left.
Ooh. 10 on the line, but it's still a 10. So in this 15 arrow scoring, it doesn't really matter if it's dead center or it's on the line. 10
Absolutely.
is a 10.
Yeah. Now we're back to usual compound shooting where it's like 10 all around, but then whoa, look at the banners on the side.
Is definitely getting stronger again.
Yeah.
She is struggling. And
Whoa,
a 10.
Nicely executed.
That's
nicely
nice.
executed
Really
by
nice.
Huang. Up to Hazal Burun to keep her 1-point lead. And she does it in style. All right, 1-point lead only going into the 5th and decisive end. The very last 3 arrows to see who's going to win bronze, who's going to be on the last step of the podium. In the case of Hazal Burun, to see whether she goes home with her 2nd medal from this 2nd stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup.
Yeah. Could you check the where we have the viewers from? So if you're viewing us, let us know from where are you watching us. What time is it for you? Because for us it is now 8:47 on a Saturday morning here in Switzerland, Lausanne.
We have Irmak Yüksel. He sent 4 Turkish flags.
So
I guess, yeah.
From Turkey, and it's
the name also sounds quite Turkish.
Yeah,
so
it's 9:47 there, I think.
Hold your breath, Irmak Yüksel. You guys might be just a couple of minutes away from a medal in this session.
Last 3 arrows, unless there is a shoot-off and 4th arrow is needed.
And we even have some people discussing politics. That's very entertaining. And we had Tom say, if you are too emotional to discuss Archery Plus, is probably not the best place to discuss politics. I agree with you.
Yes.
Huang.
Wow, we start the 5th set with the win praises.
But that was a hell of an effort by Huang, who drops a 10 on the line, keeping pressure on Hazal Burun. Yes. Now at full draw.
Yes.
Ooh, she drops a point. Now it's all square.
And that's not the same face she had before, that I know what I'm doing, because it definitely was a struggle with the wind for both archers.
Even how her bow fell. Like,
yes.
Whoa, and Huang is like all over the place with her bow arm, but arrows are landing in the middle, and that's what matters.
Yeah, and we saw on the screen also the tribunes, and I think a lot of Taipei archers are there as well. Wow, we're seeing...
She, only 2 arrows ago, Hazal Burun was leading by a point. Now she trails by a single point. Huang Yiju, arrow of the match.
Wow.
Ooh, it's a 9.
So we have a shoot-off, I think.
Let's see.
If my math is correct.
Hold your horses. Hazal Burun needs a 10 to tie the match. Go to shoot-off.
Oh, sorry.
And she does it.
I don't know how, for 2 ends in a row, I thought that Burun already shot a 10, and actually she did shoot a 10, but
Yeah, you're getting ahead of yourself. You're too excited.
yes.
Okay, so we have the first shoot off of the day. Let me put this up in the graphics here, and I guess wait. How do I wait? Oh yeah. So we have there in the graphics shoot off. Sirat, shoot off. How does it work?
So both archers shoot only one arrow, and it really, really matters now if the arrow is on the line or if
Yeah,
it's in
the
the
middle,
line.
yeah.
Or so they are really measuring closest to the center. So even if both archers shoot the 10, they measure which arrow is closest to the center. And to really make this job easier for the judges, they are putting new target faces, so there would be no holes, nothing that really can like make it more tricky to figure out which arrow is closer to the center.
Because it literally can come down to millimeters.
Yeah.
And I think it's so satisfying when we get a picture of a shoot off target and it's in the center.
Yeah.
And then when you see later the picture of the target, it's just this clean target and there is a single hole in the middle. It's visually so satisfying.
Yes. There are archers who prefer shooting in a new target face, and then there are archers who actually prefer more like shot target face. They say it's easier if there is already like this dark hole inside or something. I always love the feeling of a fresh target face. So
yeah. Laser focus from both archers. The calm before the storm. It's gonna be Huang Yiju shooting first on target 1. Heartbeat sounds in the arena. Huang, full draw. Ready for her shot.
She seemed a bit more tense before the shot, but she's shaking herself, not just the wind.
Oh,
that is 8, I think.
That's an 8. I'm with you. That's an 8. Handshakes from athlete and coach. But now Hazaburun, full draw.
Wow, at 10.
And it went Turkey's way.
So these Turkish flags that way in the comments, they worked.
Yeah, they worked. Well, congrats to Team Turkey and congrats as well to Team Taipei for a very nicely fought match. It was a close one for sure. The closest match we've had so far.
Very close one. Coming until the shoot off means the tightest you can have, but they were changing the order who was leading and all that. So we had a very close match and nice shoot off. Very nice performance by Turkish archer Burun, who shot a 10, and just purely by watching, not being there, but it did seem that the nurse maybe got the best out of the Taipei archer because she seemed struggling with the last shot, like a bit shaky. So, but we'll see. Well, not we'll see, but this match is over. We'll see the gold match. What will happen there if the wind is changing, calming down? Are the gusts getting stronger? Well, we'll see in that sense if it could have actually been wind and we just didn't see it. It's possible as well.
Yeah, and now in this match we had Hazal Burun coming straight from her semifinal into the match. Oh, and it's really cool this graphic, showing the difference between the two shoot-off arrows.
It's cool that it even shows that when the arrow lands, how it's moving.
Shaking. Yeah, but back to the point of what I was saying. Now for the gold medal match, both archers, they did have this time where they sat in, they just could cool down. Whether that's good or not, it's up to you. It's different for every archer. But then there you have it. I'm gonna update the sidebar schedule in just a second.
Yes.
I was just setting up here the gold medal match.
Because we are going now to the gold match. We are bringing back from the first, the they are bringing back. But from the first semifinal, Carson Gracie from USA. And then we have archer from India.
You can do it. You can do it.
Tama Gaonkar.
Yeah, you nailed it. Now
Well,
Indian viewers can rate the
yes,
pronunciation.
you can let me know if I actually did good or not. I'm not so sure. But yeah, the archers are getting ready. And we'll see two strong archers going against each other for the gold medal. And they are walking out to the field any second now.
Okay, I'm just gonna bring the schedule once again, if I can, on the right-hand side of your screen. In the meantime, athletes, coaches coming into the arena, and as we get ready for the final match of compound women in Shanghai, stage 2 of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in 2025. Just gonna take a very quick look at the schedule. So there you have it. Hazal Burun defeating Huang Yiju 146 to 146, but the Turkish archer delivered the 10 when it mattered most. And now only one match is left to see who has ultimate glory in compound women in Shanghai. Madhura Damagaonkar shooting first and number 1.
That looked very steady shot on that 10.
That did
10
indeed.
to start for an Indian archer.
And when it cuts to the archer and you see them nodding, it's like, yeah, that felt good. Okay, 9 by Crehi. A little bit quite off. That one was more towards the 8.
Now the wind is catching up and we can see even the Indian archer's bow moving, but still a 10.
But now an interesting thing as well is before it seemed that it was a little bit overcast with the clouds.
Yeah.
And now the sun is shining brighter.
Yes.
And this is something that can change the sight setting,
definitely, right? Definitely. I have never shot compound, so I don't know, but I imagine for them it might be even more.
No, Sirat, you're making our life complicated with the comments because last time on Compound Day, we had someone complaining that, oh, you bring recurve people to commentate compound, and then you hear explicitly, openly say, I've never shot compound.
Yes, but it's still archery.
Yeah, that's my point. Thank you for saying that.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah.
Okay. Crehi struggling to begin things with.
Yeah.
Madhura from India, even though she was put under pressure by Hazal Burun in her semi-final match, she already had shown signs that she is the one to beat today, maybe. Of course, we have a very restricted sample set to be saying this. Of course, all of these archers are outstanding. But judging from Crehi's semi-final, she's got everything she needs to bounce back and put pressure on Madhura. But a 30 against a 26, that's a good way to start a match, huh?
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, I think the Indian archer did the same in the previous match, starting with 2 30s, and then she actually shot 8s in the last end. So everything can happen.
Yeah, you're right about the fact that her scores dropped. She had 30-30, 28-28, and then 27 with an 8. So you have a fair point there.
But at the same time, I see her being more smiley and seeing like the pressure, like the huge pressure is like a bit less maybe. We'll see if it actually gives her a good thing, because sometimes this pressure and certain level of anxiety can be good even for archers to really put them in the zone where they can hit the 10s.
Yeah, but definitely not putting in the zone to hit the 10s is this wind.
Oh, yes.
Whoa, that was a labored shot by Crehi.
So yeah, we started with the second end for this gold medal final.
Yeah, bows moving all around.
Yeah,
we can see the bubble in the sight.
Really struggling. Really... Oh, we can't see the 20-second time.
Yeah, yeah.
Or is that the time?
No, 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 no. Those
yeah,
are
yeah.
arrows left.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
But I remember I once asked the head of communications at World Archery why we couldn't have the countdown clock, and I'm sorry to admit that it was a pretty intricate and complex explanation, and I don't remember what it was. So
Well, I guess it. Wow, this is really
this is
Indian
really
archer
hard.
is, I think, moving even out from the target maybe when she was
Man.
aiming, but she got an 8 and she seems fine with it. But she dropped an arrow to the ground, so actually she
Yeah.
must be very nervous. Wow, and we see the U.S. archer also really struggling to keep it in the target, even maybe.
Man, this is really tough. This is
Whew. And the 10.
oh, and a
9, 10,
10.
10. She must be very happy with that.
Wow, and now,
It's maybe a bit calmer, but we never know with the gusts. So,
yeah,
but it's not only about the wind, maybe affecting the last arrow, but if it affects your mindset and your shot feeling, then it can still carry on to the next shot as well. So now we have complete different ends. First end, Indian archer was shooting really strong, and now it's the opposite. But they were both struggling, definitely.
yeah. And what you're saying about the wind, like affecting your shots and how you feel, for me, shooting in the wind is 90% confidence.
Yeah.
It's like you just got to be confident.
Yeah.
And I love motorsports. I love Formula One, and I compare shooting in windy conditions in archery as like rain in Formula One. It's something that can really shuffle things around.
And of course, there are aspects that you need to keep in mind while driving in the rain or shooting in the wind.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
there are aspects you need to keep in mind.
Yeah.
But still, you need to stay confident, still do your own thing, and trust your abilities, trust what you have put in the training, so you can do your best.
Yeah, and of course, we can't rule anyone out after only one end. Maybe that's pretty much what I did with Carson Crahy. But anyway, whatever stupid thing I might have said, she is completely back in the match now.
Yeah, 55-55 after 6 arrows. 9 arrows left.
Madura Damagaonkar shooting first, third end. Her arm moving with gusts
the wind
of
is
wind.
definitely back, and it's not helping her to get her mindset back. So
7.
7.
And we heard the buzzer. She really took all the time she could for that arrow. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you just got to shoot fast.
Yeah. Because we saw with the bronze medal match, the moment they started shooting faster, they scored better. But it could be also the other way around. There was less wind, so they could more easily execute the shots faster.
yeah.
But yeah.
But like, of course, with hindsight, it's easy to say these things. But it's like if you tell Madura, like, well, do you prefer a 9 to a 7 if you shoot fast? Because I believe if you shoot fast, you can put it in the 9, right?
Yeah, that's true. But we are today in this sofa warriors position. Yeah. So good to comment, but it's way easier said than done. Yeah. So let's see. Last arrow still to be shot by in this end. 10-10-10 for
10,
U.S.
10
archer.
For Carson Crahy. And now that I love this expression, sofa warriors, and look where we're sitting. And I have to say that I recently retired as a professional athlete. And I have to say, talking about archery is so much easier than shooting myself.
But at the same time, I switched from being an athlete going to be a coach. And I must say, it was surprising how much less easy it was. I was imagining it would be easier in a sense of like my heart rate not going up so much when my athlete is shooting and so on. But actually, I think my heart rate was, as a coach, probably the same as I had as an athlete. But of course, you get more experience as a coach as well. And one thing I learned was that my athlete needs to see me calm, and then that will help her as well. So that was definitely one of the huge things I needed to learn how to cope with as a coach. But
don't get me wrong, when I'm commentating or when I'm here in the watch along as well, there are times when I feel like, man, like I'm shooting. It's like, no, but I'm just sitting here and just watching it, but it feels like I'm shooting because the nerves are definitely there.
Yeah.
Third and beginning. No, fourth end. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, 3 done. And 4 points lead for the US archer now. So we have Indian archer shooting first again.
Let me zoom
nice
back in.
X10, center 10. That's what she really needed to get her own rhythm, confidence, and shot back. So hopefully she got it. To make it more interesting. And to make it more interesting, we have 7.
And I just had to zoom back out again.
Yes. So the game is quite equal, 92-91, and we got the 9 from Tamaguankar. Well, I hope it's correct. I don't like people saying my name very wrong. So I hope I'm doing it well, good enough.
Well, let's just wait for this end to be over, because I'm going to share something about my name and people getting it wrong. But Carson Craigie, her very last arrow, gusty wind blowing
last
right
arrow
now.
in this end.
In this
in
end,
the
of
fourth
course,
end.
yeah.
Wow.
Man,
So
it's crazy. We've gone from Madura Damagaonkar with a 4-point lead, and then they tied, and
Yes.
then Carson Craigie was 4 points ahead,
yes,
and now what do we have? They're back to a tie.
yeah.
Which way is it gonna go in the fifth end?
Really no way to say. I think the wind is playing a factor there as well.
You think so?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I mean the fact that the decisions you make, when do you actually execute the shot? Like, do you take the risk, do maybe a bit shaky shot and faster one, or you wait and hope it will calm down? You can do a very steady shot, but you also risk that it might get worse and you might shoot even a 7 like we saw. I think now more than 1-7 even. So yeah, it is wind, it is their own decision making, it is the nerves of the competition, it's everything together. So
This is the crucial thing from what you said. I think this is the crucial thing, is decision making.
yeah.
Shooting in the wind is like you pick a spot and you go at it confidently.
Yeah, but then if you combine it with your own shooting and technique, and for example, let's say there is some element you're struggling with, and so you might make a decision, yes, I'm going for that, aiming there, I'm doing it, but sometimes still you are not able to execute the shot as you would want to. So you stay longer and then you need to keep struggling with the wind.
Give and take.
So first arrows from both arrows are now shot. We got a 10 by Indian archer and a 9 by US archer. So 1 point lead for Indian archer.
Madura Damagaonkar provisionally 1 point ahead. She drops another axe, hitting dead center when it matters most. The critical moment in this match. Carson Craigie.
Her face was not so happy because she shot another 9. So 2 points difference before the last arrows.
Yeah, close to the 10.
Doesn't look too windy, but she shot the 9. So
And puts it out of reach.
out of reach.
And she's already getting quite emotional, I think.
Yes. Well, she won the gold medal, so
Yeah.
she knew
There
it.
you go. There you go, and there we have it. Looks up to the heavens and thanks
Yes.
for her fortune today. Madura Damagaonkar is your second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup champion. She gets gold at her second attempt today. Her first was the team competition where she got silver, but now she doesn't leave any opportunity for Carson Craigie in this very last end. And we have to say, she also booked herself a ticket to the World Cup final.
Yes, yes, exactly. I actually was commenting on her looking very serious and very composed, but there is different ways of being composed, but hers was very serious composure, I would say, and meaning that she wasn't smiling between the shots or between the ends, even when communicating with the coach. But now, definitely, after the last arrow, she was celebrating. Mm-hmm. She was smiling. So it's not her personality only to be super serious. She's very happy.
Yeah, no, her smile tells it all. Her smile tells it all.
Yes.
So nice.
So if you want to see archers celebrating, not only by us describing it, you can tune into Archery Plus. You have the QR code on the corner there of the screen. And you can join and watch it in case you have a subscription. You can also choose to actually watch the finals and mute them and listen to us.
Exactly. Don't listen to Karen and Chef. And yeah.
Sorry.
just don't tell them.
No, just joking. But it is true. You have a choice of two different commentating.
Yeah. So, but also just to give some context and the idea of what we're doing here. The official feed, the official broadcast, the one that you see on Archery Plus, is with a brilliant commentary. The expert, I'm sorry, I just got mixed up. Brilliant commentary by Karen Bashir, who is the lead commentator in the broadcasts. He is the voice of archery in the last couple of years. Let's just stop a little bit just to hear from Madura Damagaonkar.
So yeah, there is the interview with the Indian archer and getting the really quick emotions, which is absolutely expressing still the smile on her face and saying that she's super happy, that she's very happy with this. But and they are asking her what was the coach telling about the wind and how she was handling the wind. So if I understand it well, she's describing that the mindset or the preparation, mental preparation, you might say, from the coach was that today is not going to be the day where everybody should just tense. Mm-hmm. Today is going to be a day of challenges. So you really have to be ready for surprises and just, go for it.
Yeah. And they're hugging Vanessa. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, it was so cool from what she said that her coach told her, let's take this challenge. It's what you said. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
Let's just face it.
Yeah, to not have expectations that you're going to be disappointed about. If you go there on a windy day and expect to shoot only tens, you're going to be disappointed. It's a failure from the beginning. So definitely it was good to have this kind of mindset going into this, that it's going to be a struggle. I can not call it a struggle. A challenge is way more fun way to say it, and be ready for it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now we have the women's medal ceremony.
Yeah,
right?
The podium. Archers nicely lined up, accompanied by some Chinese ladies wearing traditional outfit. And just to go back to the point, sorry, we were interrupted by the interview, but just to go back to the point that I was saying, in Archery Plus, in the official broadcast, you have the amazing commentary by Karen Bashir and Chef Vandenberg, who himself was an amazing archer. He is there as the expert commentator, so you have amazing stuff there. But The official broadcast, for obvious reasons, it has more of a formal format. And so the idea here of what we're doing in this watch along is to do something that is more chill. So you really have the option. You can choose like how you want to take it. But of course, if you want to watch, just scan the QR code, head to Archery Plus. There you can watch all the action. You can see everything that we are seeing. And the idea here is that, you know, you just came over to my place. We're watching together, just having a chill moment, talking about archery, but also talking about the tattoo in Huang Yiju's arms and
Yes.
nice caps and all of
Whatever we
this.
see.
Yeah, whatever.
We don't have such a like a strict format because we are not on live TV in that sense.
Yeah.
It's we can be more flexible, and we can even discuss the stuff you would like to hear us discussing. So if there is
Yeah.
any good topics thrown out in the comments,
Yeah.
we check it every now and then. It would be good to know, and we can have a conversation with you guys even. So
I have a couple of interesting comments to share. We have Sangay Chonjin, forgive me for the pronunciation, once again. India, 12:18 p.m., so lunchtime. Talking about lunchtime and India, some Indian food for lunch, that would be good.
oh yeah, that would be nice.
But we have Prime Shifter, 2:48 a.m. Man, thank you so much for
Wow.
tuning in.
Is this
Yeah.
the craziest fan we have right now?
I think
With
so.
us?
I think so. I honestly, anybody
Crazy
who watches,
in a good way.
Yeah.
No offense.
No, but anybody who watches archery is crazy or does archery. So, but I have a question for you, Surat.
Yeah.
Does this ring a bell? This name, Pirat Ansip.
Yes, it's my sister.
Yeah, because we have a very good comment from her. She shared a Estonian flag and she said, "This live is for the poor ones, or if you want to see your sister."
Oh, so cute. Thank you.
There
see,
go.
I would not have done it in live TV.
Yeah.
So our format is more relaxed, and we try to engage with you guys. So let us know if there is anything you might want to know specifically about archery. But yeah.
Yeah, but then also there is something that I wanted to pick up on. It's a very good point because we, like in other times, the watch along is a format that we introduced last year, and so we always get comments and very fair questions about like why we can't watch it for free anymore. So, because we all know that we could watch the competitions for free on YouTube before. But now we are transitioning to this the Archery Plus platform, and so there is a, like, of course, for a lot of people, like me too, I didn't like having to pay to watch archery, but actually this comes for a good reason, because we are selling more and more television rights across the world, and
Which is a good thing for archery, because
Yeah.
that means more countries are showing archery on TV. You can
Yeah.
actually see it in TV, and you should check maybe even in your country it's possible in some channels.
Yeah.
There was an article about highlighting all the channels that are broadcasting it. So archery.sport has these links to the channels or the information about the channels which are broadcasting it on TV.
Yeah, great stuff, exactly. But then, so this is the thing, TV rights, the broadcaster, like they're really put in a bad position if they buy the rights to broadcast archery, but then people can just watch for free on YouTube. So
Why would you need to then watch it on TV if you can watch it for free on YouTube? So,
But then, we have this format, the watch along. We're here to make you company, and then you can follow the action somehow here with us. We are reacting to it, giving our impressions. And but anyway, don't hesitate. Go to Archery Plus. I'm sure you're gonna find a subscription that suits your your budget, and then you can get archery all year round. Watch all the action. We have the 4 regular World Cup stages this year. We have, of course, the World Cup final and the World Championships, which is going to be in Korea. But then also you get access to a lot of extra content. There is the Brilliant 10 documentary about the Korean team that won the historic 10th in a row Olympic gold medal last year in Paris. There is an entire documentary exploring like how Korea came to become this powerhouse. It even feels like this is an euphemism. Like it's not a strong enough word to describe their dominance in the
Yes.
sport. But yeah, you have access to this documentary, Ray Allison Believe, a documentary in which I took part as well, called Target Paris. That's also a really cool one with behind the scenes stuff with me, Kim Woo-jin, Lisa Barbalan. So yeah, there is so much content and really for not a very high price. So without with all that being said, just head there and check it out yourself.
Yeah.
Good then.
I just came with the idea that maybe we should make another documentary, an update, because your situation has changed a lot since since the documentary was done. You were still an archer then, and now, well, you
Presenter
probably
slash coach.
yeah,
slash,
you're probably still shooting sometimes. Are you?
Honestly, since August last year, I think I didn't shoot more than 50 arrows. Every time I pick up my bow, it's so painful because I still have the poundage that I used to shoot, but I really have to get myself weaker limbs, weaker arrows. I'm missing. In the beginning, I didn't miss. For the first couple of months, I was really like having this detox. But now I'm really starting to miss, and I have to make a confession. It's not so new because if you were watching the other watch-alongs last year when we were doing with Greg White, we were discussing a lot about me shooting compound, and I really want to get myself a compound bow and start, because I want to learn by doing it myself, and I think it's going to be really, really cool.
So on my side, since 2017, I've probably shot around 200 arrows, and
You beat me.
huge majority of them haven't been in the last few years, but okay, maybe a bit more, because still in the coaching courses for doing certain exercises and for demonstration and all that, you still shoot. But I don't know, out of nowhere yesterday I had this feeling that I would like to shoot couple of shots with the training bow. I'm not saying I want to train, because I miss competing every single time I go to a competition with an athlete. Even if it's rainy or windy, I miss the thrill of competing, and that part of archery I'm missing.
Yeah.
I do not miss training, because those who have done archery, I think they could easily probably understand why I don't really miss the training procedure of it. Especially, I did it for 16 years and quite intensely, so I had my fair share, but competing part, I do miss. So yeah, maybe I come back tomorrow and I can say that I shot, I don't know, 5 or 10 arrows today. Let's see. If you remember, ask me.
You still have your bow?
Yes, it's here with me in Lausanne.
What bow do you have?
White.
And what model?
Purple.
Purple. I have a purple bow.
No, I think GMX could be.
Could be.
I think
could be
so.
Formula, could be TD4, could be TD3.
Formula could be as well. I really haven't opened that bag for 6 years, so.
Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Oh, just a quick break from our meandering. We have athletes, the Final Fours, and the compound men coming up to the arena now. The 2 Koreans that will shoot against each other in semifinal number 2. You can see, once again, the schedule on the right-hand side of your screen. Both of the Koreans
Links to
came
the
first.
Archery TV if you want to see the screen. And on the screen, I just, sorry to cut in,
No,
but we saw the athletes also for a second before they walked in, and I saw Choi, the Korean archer, like making like a 360 and like a kind of like a ballerina style, putting a hand up, and like all the 4 archers were laughing and having a good time. So it seems there is like good camaraderie between 4 of them, but when it comes down to the competition moment, I'm sure they are all there to beat each other. So
Yeah, but maybe he was rehearsing his introduction pose.
I don't know.
But, well, he didn't have the guts to actually execute it. So
Yeah,
A
maybe.
bit disappointed in Choi Young-hee.
No, I
I'm kidding.
he
I'm
already
kidding.
with that move got me to be his fan, so
I'm kidding. But anyway, he didn't do it in front of the fans, but he did it in front of thousands of people who are watching it on the feed. So.
I'm sure he didn't know that this is broadcasted.
Okay. The final four is coming out of the arena. And as soon as they're out there, Mike Schlosser from the Netherlands, Mr. Perfect, and Yadav Rishabh from India. Yeah, they're going to get ready. We see already Mr. Perfect putting his quiver on, getting ready, because now if they had the camaraderie before the match, all smiles and laughs, now it's the time for the serious business. Time to put on the poker face on and shoot some tens. But this is really cool. I really like the behind-the-scenes view. Like, so much better than just the formal.
Yeah,
like,
I
strict thing.
actually have wished it for many years that the broadcast would show more of that part, and also to show the view of the overall field. I haven't seen that one so much today, like where you could actually see coaches, archers, and the targets as well. So the viewers could actually see the distance that is shot. For compound it's 50 meters, but for recurve it's 70, so even further. And I know a lot of people who have watched the broadcasts, watched the many times, and the first time they come to the venue, they are like, wow,
This is really
how
far.
I didn't know that they shoot so far.
Yeah.
And for compound, the target face is smaller, so the distance is that in that sense seems similar, that it's closer but the target is smaller, so it's still quite difficult to hit that small 10 there.
Absolutely. This is a comment that I get often as well. When people come and they see, they're like, whoa, looking at TV, like it doesn't
seems
seem
so
that it's that
easy.
far.
It's
Yeah.
just like archers and the target, so what's difficult there?
Time for the real business. We are about to get underway with Mr. Perfect, Mike Schlosser from the Netherlands, shooting first on end number 1 of semifinal number 1. Oh, that's a nice bow color he has.
Yeah.
10 for Mr. Perfect. Just to the left, same direction to which the wind is blowing.
Wow.
Maybe Rishabh from India read the wind a little bit through Schlosser's arrow.
To be honest, for me, it seems that they haven't had much wind with the first arrows. Like, I don't see any shirts moving. Yes, the flag on top of the target and the trees behind are moving, but it's different if you have the wind only on the field, because then it's easier to adjust where you're aiming, although you don't feel it. But if there is like flags and trees where you can read the wind, and it's another story if the wind is actually directly on the shooting line. So
like moving your
yes,
your
and we
arm.
saw that a lot with the women,
Yeah.
and right now with the men, I still haven't seen it that much. So
Ooh, triple X.
triple X for Yadav.
Yeah, Rishabh Yadav. Against Mike Schlosser, you take any points you can get, right?
Yes.
So if it's a 1-point lead, you really don't complain. You take it,
I
and you
know.
just take one end at a time.
Yes, yes. And just hope that the wind won't hit and start mixing up the game like we had the last gold medal match. One archer leading with 4 points, tie, then another
Yeah.
archer leading a tie.
Yeah. No, this was absolutely crazy. For compound standards, it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Good. And Rishabh Yadav from India, this is already being an amazing campaign for him, because in the quarterfinals, he beat also none other than Matthias Fullerton.
Yeah.
So very, very strong already campaign by him. But for sure, he's not settling for that. He's going for gold just like everyone else is.
I really think the compound men's, well, all of the international level, all the categories, but compound men's, I think especially has got super tight, like not just in the top 2, top 10, but like in top 30, 40. I think there is a lot of names who are really like tough to beat. And maybe because only four archers get to the finals, but like in general, like there are so many others who are also so strong, but they just didn't get to top 4.
Yeah, no, competition is mega tough, and then
Woo!
this like it makes us admire even more so Mike Schlosser, the fact that he's been on the top of the world ranking for many years. It was like 1,300 days.
Yeah, it's really
Absolutely crazy.
Yeah. So what we see in the second end is that Schlosser shot 10 and 10, and then we had the 9 that was almost an 8 from Yadav, and the second arrow was also a 9.
Ooh, now he came back swinging, found his shot. That's bad news for Yadav. Ooh, 3 9s. I think we even saw the reaction from the photographer in the background when he heard 9. He was like, ooh.
Yes, because 3 9s against Mike Schlosser usually is not good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we have seen big comebacks today, so let's see. And he did shoot very tight group 3 X's in the first end, so let's see.
Yeah, it's cool. In this shot, we see there Mike Schlosser not exchanging a lot of words with Coach Peter Elzinga, who was in his own right
top archer.
An amazing compound archer. Yeah. And so what a lineup that is, right? Like you have Mike Schlosser and then you have a Coach Peter Elzinga. Yeah, goes to show the amazing tradition that the Netherlands has in compound archery.
What I noticed is that the Indian archer is actually drawing the bow a bit differently than what I see usually. I don't think it's just that one shot that camera was showing. I think he's doing it differently. So I hope we get another view of him just coming to the full draw. Then you see what I mean.
Yeah, for sure we will. And man, that's a very nice shot of Schlosser. Like before the arrow hits the target, he's already like, that was a good one.
And that is the best feeling. Yeah. You release it, the arrow hasn't hit the target, but it's going to be then.
Now we could see the unusual way
really,
in which he draws.
First pulling both hands up, but the arrow stays parallel and then going down. So kind of a kudo, but I'm exaggerating, but there is more that style.
Wow, we are discussing all forms of archery. Yes. We brought kudo up in a compound match. That's impressive, Sirat. Last year, I'm gonna take the time to share that. In the meantime, I'm gonna be plotting. Yes. So, with Yadav, 5 9s in a row.
Yeah, and he's shaking his head. He's not happy, and he's definitely not in this I know what I'm doing zone. He's looking at his coach between the arrows and kind of like, help me.
He's definitely not in the state that I'm about to share. Last year, I was
10. Finally, again, a 10.
Finally.
After 5 9s, he just needs to now really hope the wind will come, and only for Mike, which doesn't happen.
What a group.
Yeah.
Man.
Triple X from him as well. Maybe he wanted to show, Yadav, you did it first, but I did it again.
Kid, you can shoot a 30 now. Watch me.
Yes.
Hold my cup. Not to say hold my beer. Okay. Yes. Can we say this in the watch along? That's a good question. But I was gonna say you talked about Kudo, and then last year I was commentating the Pan American Championships with Karen Bashir, who you can listen to on Archery TV alongside Chef from the Netherlands. And so at one moment I was talking about like archers, that was a fast shot. No, that was a slow shot. That took long. That was faster. And then Karim, he asked me a very good question. He was like, well, Bernardo, can't they just shoot whenever they want? And then I was like, well, kind of, yeah. But then if you force it, it's not good. So for the shot to happen naturally, you don't really control actively the timing of it. And then I was explaining, and then I came up and I said, in Kyudo, in Japanese traditional archery, they say that you have to shoot the arrow just like the drop of dew falls from the leaf of a bamboo. And then and then Karen was like, what? And then even one of the guys in the production afterwards, he was like, man, when you said that, I was like, am I listening to the right broadcast? Like,
Yes. But it's a good comparison, yes. Very good.
to your point of Kyudo, so we are on the same page.
Yes. Well, but he's definitely drawing the bow differently than most other archers we see. But all according to the rules, the arrow is staying still in the target height, and all good in that sense. No safety matters in that sense.
Now, really, if the wind is blowing, which I think is the case downrange, definitely it's not the case in the shooting line.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why we see better scores now, just more precise shots.
Yeah, either it changed direction or it has really just wind down a bit as well.
Ooh,
I think it's a 10.
You think? Yeah, me too. I'll call it a 10.
I think it's a 10. So we have actually now already the fourth end of compound men's first semifinal. And we have behind Yadav from India, and leading is Mike Schlosser, who has probably only lost 1 point in the first end. There is a liner. 10-9 liner this time as well, but I think it's still a 10. And I wanted to say the first 9 that he had was also a very close one. So his group has been very good.
This is exactly what I was going to say. If you pay attention to his target, whenever it closes, it cuts to his target. The group is amazing.
Yeah.
Like the 9s that he shot, they are so close.
Yeah.
All right.
And even now, like, one is a 10-9 liner, but the group is really nice. Maybe all slightly to the left. It might be that might really be the wind playing, because they have relatively strong bows, but the wind still has some effect. So
absolutely, and we even saw after the shot there, after the end, as he came out of the shooting line, we could see Schlosser just giving his sight a few clicks, adjusting here and there. But he looks so calm. Not a surprise, yeah.
He's home. Home finals field.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gabby, I didn't mean it in a bad way. I think you know perfectly what I meant. But
have you seen her belly? It's
yes.
really big. Yeah. Gabby Schlosser, Mike's wife, is expecting, and the baby is going to be born very soon. A girl, if I'm not mistaken. But family affairs aside, Rishabh Yadav,
now the wind
draw.
is back on the shooting line as well.
On the shooting line.
Yes.
And his hair looked really cool with the wind blowing. Huh?
Yes.
That was a cool shot.
It looked like the Hollywood shot where the hair is...
The hero.
Yes.
But they're not... not Hollywood, Bollywood.
Ah, yes.
The guy's Indian.
Yes.
Bollywood star.
And
Rishabh
shooting
Yadav.
only X's again. But
star.
Let's be honest, it's last end, so you need to shoot only 10s. And even then, a miracle needs to happen. So
yeah, I think...
there is 5-point difference.
Yadav is... I see like kind of a similar situation to what Huang Yiju from Taipei found herself in her semifinal in the women's division, which is like, man, just finish strong for the bronze medal match.
Yeah. But he didn't finish with a very happy face, because the last arrow was 9, and now the last 15th arrow for Mike Schlosser was 10, so he shot 14 10s and 1 9.
The guy shot 29 and then all 30s. So.
Yeah. And he looks happy now.
Who's the guy to beat? I wonder.
Yeah.
Mike Schlosser then through to the gold medal match, which is going to be our very last match in today's session, while Rishabh Yadav will have to settle for a chance for a shot at bronze in just a couple of moments' time. Before that, we have semifinal number 2. It's a
which
Korean.
is Korea,
Oh, Korea, yeah.
Choi against Kim, I believe. And that will decide who will face Mike Schlosser in gold medal match and Rishabh Yadav in bronze medal match. So the whole same system, shooting 15 arrows. If it's still a tie, will be a shoot off. So that's how we go. And if I count well, we have one semifinal left, bronze medal match left, and gold medal match left. And then tomorrow, exactly the same time, we do the same for recurve, but they have a different scoring system that we explain tomorrow. But if by chance you somehow found out there is an archery competition, wanted to see where you can see live, and you tuned in YouTube in a watch along, then we are watching the broadcast that is on Archery Plus. You can have a subscription and also watch it in Archery Plus. If you don't know how to access, there is the QR code in the corner of the screen, soon to come. And in Archery Plus, you can see the video picture. In many countries, it's also broadcasted on TV, so you can check out that. Maybe in many countries it's broadcasted. Maybe you could even just switch on TV. And if you prefer our commentary, leave our sound on and mute the other one. Joking. But it's an option. So now we are starting with the second semifinal between two Koreans, and we started with a very shot looked like it's maybe not going to hit the 10, but it did hit the 10.
Ooh, in or out? I'm calling
in.
it out. I'm calling out.
My first thought was out, but
ooh, that was twitchy as well. That one also didn't look like it was going to be a 10.
But it was a 10 again.
Just clipping the line. We have veteran Choi Young-hee. He's 40, I think. Oldest archer we have shooting today in this session. Few side clicks there.
They have a very different stance. Like the position of the feet on the shooting line is very different for two archers. So Kim is having... maybe I'm mixing them up.
Like Kim Jong-ho with an open stance, like very feet wide apart. Not open stance, just feet wide apart.
Yeah, just wide, but more of a square stance in a sense of the feet being parallel and hips not twisted.
Yeah.
But then the other archer has open stance and much more narrow stance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more of the typical compound stance.
Yeah,
right?
and in indoor compound, you even see archers like literally having feet close together.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I think it doesn't make a lot of sense, but
well, indoor, if you don't have wind and you have good balance, why not? But I would not do it outdoor, especially if you have windy weather. And I would like to actually know. I wasn't there, so I didn't see the qualification round. How was their technique? Because I know some archers change. If they know that it's windy conditions, they put their feet more wide apart. I don't think it's very often used because it changes the feeling you have in your shot. But if it's really windy, it might help.
Yeah. Now I'm sorry, because in the graphics you're still seeing the previous match, so I apologize for that. I have my computer here with me because I am feeding all the graphics that you see on the screen. And we went from seeing the previous match to not seeing anything at all.
It's okay. So I will do the graphics verbally.
Yeah.
It's 29-29 between Kim from Korea and Choi from Korea. And we started just now with the second end. And Kim started with a 9 and is really shaking his head and not really happy with that. So
another 9 dropped by Choi Young-hee.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting to see that Choi, who got the second 9, and still shaking his head, being at full draw, the fingers of both hands are moving actually.
Really?
The fingers on the not Choi but Kim, fingers on the release, the pinky and the thumb, and also the fingers on the riser. So
yeah, I see it now.
you see both hands even.
Whoa, yeah, yeah.
And that's not like a little bit
Whoa,
movement; it's
yeah.
a lot of movement.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
It's very interesting to see.
Yeah.
It seems. If you're just viewing and thinking how much of a movement it is, then it's really like if he would be dreaming and thinking about the musical instrument that he's playing, that's how much his fingers were moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that gives him 1 point behind Choi, 57-58. But how do you feel? I feel the atmosphere between them seems quite relaxed, because sometimes teammates are against each other and it can be maybe even more cutthroat than with someone else, but they seem very relaxed.
This is something that we talked about in the previous watch along as well. And again, this is a very personal thing, but me, I have always found it so much easier to be shooting against a teammate, because a teammate, we shoot against each other so many times in trials, national championships, and also it's a very familiar thing. It's something like, I know how this guy shoots, I know what to expect, and so it just feels more like familiar. So I prefer it personally.
Yeah. And if you have the subscription and you see Archery Plus, you also see some graphics about the arrow flight and also some statistics. And for example, how high did the arrow go and how fast does the arrow travel? So here we saw that the archers' arrows are flying around 300 kilometers per hour, right?
Really? For them, 300? I saw a Rishab, I think it was 243, I think.
I think it was 300, so let's see after this end again. He was struggling.
Veteran, Choi Young-hee.
But still a 10, so that's where the experience come in. Even if you're struggling, you still manage to shoot a 10.
Yeah, but talking about experience, these are two very familiar faces in the Korean compound squad. These guys, they have been around for a really long time. They've been around, I get a feeling, ever since Korea started taking compounders to competitions. Oh.
I think a 9.
Yeah, I think so too. Just out. But we'll need confirmation in that case.
I will now always remember Kim... sorry.
Kim Jong-ho? No, Kim Jong-ho.
Okay.
Kim is wearing blue, Choi is wearing white.
Ooh, that is definitely a 9.
Yeah.
More closer to 8 than 10.
Both archers in the last arrow, I had a feeling that they didn't get the balance quite right. As soon as the arrow left, I had a feeling they were both a bit...
Yeah.
I made a mistake because on...
Of the first
yeah, the first end was actually a 30 by Choi. And how do I change that? I think I can't. Really good.
Oh.
Good job, Bernardo. Great stuff.
Well, if you maybe take the graphics off for a second and just enter them again.
No, it's the first end. I think I can't go back and edit that.
Okay. Well,
too bad. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to give Wes when he shoots a 9, I have to give him a 10, just to have the final score the same. So I apologize for that. Sorry, guys.
Penalty for Bernardo. And it also means I need to speak more so he can focus on the
graphics.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Feeding the graphics. Yeah, my bad. Well, to be fair, it's 9:49 a.m. I woke up very early and I haven't had a coffee yet.
Yeah.
I wish I could get a coffee now.
Coffee and croissants.
Can you go get some for us now?
I'll call a friend. Uber.
Here we go. Fourth end, Kim Jong-ho shooting first. Full draw with his bright red bow.
X.
Drops an X.
And he is 2 points behind, so he really needed that 10. And actually now you can also see a wind on the shooting line, so I guess it's coming back. 10 on the left side.
Yeah.
So...
But for some reason...
9 on the left.
9 from Kim Jong-ho.
A bit high left, 9. And up 9.
9, but I'm calling it a 10 just to make the score correct. Oh,
Okay.
man. Yeah, this is so embarrassing. I'm so sorry.
But it's still not correct. There is still one.
Yeah,
point
there's still
difference.
one. So I made the mistake twice. Well done. Kim Jong-ho with a 29. He's shooting like some arrows really bullseye, but also dropping those 9s, and that is costing him dearly there.
Yep.
We have then a 2-point lead, actually, which on here on the watch along is showing only 1 point, so sorry about that. But actually we have 107 against 105.
Not 107, 117.
17. It just took a little bit. Yeah,
115.
it just took a bit to load here on my tablet. Great stuff.
Ooh.
Whoa! So we had the
Okay.
arrow dropping from the rest on that replay, huh?
Yeah. So it was probably the last arrow, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But you really see the fingers. And I know that is something that Korean coaches, usually for recurve side at least, pay quite a lot of attention. For example, for Park Sung-young, Coach Kim Hyung-tak was making a comment how she was moving her fingers on the bow. And that movement was way smaller than he's doing.
It's funny you bring up a legendary coach that is known as Coach Kim, Coach Kim Hyung-tak. As far as I know, he coaches Kim Jong-ho.
Yeah, and I have been training in that training center there with him. And there were some compound archers coming, like just 1 or 2. And they were... couple of days were training there as well, and now I'm really thinking, like, could it have been one of them?
Mm-hmm. It's really cool. I trained in Korea as well in Daejeon, and then one of the guys who used to shoot recurve, he transitioned to compound, and then he is there. He made the team.
Oh, cool.
He was there in Shanghai, and he was part of the team that broke the world record in the team
very
match.
cool, very
They
cool.
shot for the first time the clean 240.
Yep.
So really cool to see this guy that I trained with first make the team and then shoot the world record there. So bad he didn't make into the final 4 and we can't see him, but really, really cool.
Yeah. I think the both Korean archers already have something big to take home to have the world record as a team, a perfect score. It's awesome.
Yeah, and
so we got the 9 also from Choi again, finally again. So that helps us in a sense of first of all Bernardo can fix the scores, and sorry, it was 5th and not 4th, and so the match is finished. 9 was all that he needed to win. So 146, 145.
There you go. Yeah. So and now I got the score correct.
So the last arrow was 9, but it was enough to win, and the score 146, 145 is actually the highest score of 2 archers combined we have had today, I think.
Yeah, but we can't help but think that clearly Mike Schlosser is the favorite because Choi Young-hee, he shot 130. Mike has already shot 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have, and if I do it quickly enough, the updated schedule, and we have all the matches decided now.
So we have Kim going to the bronze medal match that will be next up. So he will have a very short 1-2 minute break to go off from the field, maybe drink water, check the arrows. We will see on the screen what he's doing. I will let you guys know. And then he needs to come out, back out again, and shoot the bronze medal match. So Choi, who won the match, will have much longer time. He can wait for the whole bronze medal match. He's on in the waiting room, call room, and he will come out for the gold medal match. Yeah. So now we will have Yadav from India and Kim from Korea.
And there you have the updated schedule and also the updated scores. We had Mike Schlosser, the 5th match of the day, semifinal number 1 in the side of the compound men. 149, very commanding victory over Rishabh Yadav from India, who had 143. And now in the all-Korean second semifinal, Choi Young-hee beating his teammate, 146 to 145. We see already Indian Yadav ready, bow in hand, ready to go into the arena.
Smiling and joking with the coach, it seems so. Like...
I wonder what kind of banter they're having there.
They're also wondering if they're going to eat Indian or Chinese for dinner.
Oh man, you bring it up again now. I'm starting to feel hungry.
Yes. But they are really having a good time, and it would be good to know the jokes. But let's see. I think it's a real change usually when the archer actually goes out on the field. Some archers are able to truly actually be relaxed enough that they can laugh at jokes and be happy in that sense. But usually when you're actually focusing, it's not relaxed enough to be joking as much as they did before going on the field. But I think before going on the field, it's good because you need your brain fully focused when you're in there. So it's not good to put the gas pedal down already before going on to the field. So I think that's what they were doing there. Coach trying to keep his mind off. And now when they are there, you need to have full focus, full attention for the bronze medal match that's starting now. And Kim Young-ho started with a 9.
A little bit of bow quando there.
He did it a lot in the last match as well. A 9 on the right side. Both have 9 on the right side. So wind has turned maybe a bit, or...
Ooh.
That seemed like a very surprise shot.
Yeah, it almost looked like he wanted to let down.
Yeah, or he wasn't shot. Ready, or definitely wasn't ready for that. What happened? But both archers have both. Are you spotting route now?
Yeah, I am. It's just
both archers are spotting arrows on the right side. Now we got in the middle, but still high. So 3 9s for Kim from Korea in this first set of bronze match. And we see that the wind is back on the shooting line as well. So the last shot for Yadav is not going to be an easy one, but it's a 10. So worked out well. And actually he looks relaxed, smiling and happy. And so, well, after a 10 and having a 1-point lead, of course you're happy. But
But now it's showing there. It just took a little bit long, but I was trying to troubleshoot here the graphics on your screen for you to follow the dispersion. We see all arrows a little bit to the right, a little bit high, what you were talking about in the beginning. But really the wind, I think after Yadav's first arrow, we could see the Indian archer just like as soon as he shot, he just like looked at the windsock or a flag, I think, just kind of like to try to understand, man, where's the wind going now?
Yeah. And it's actually, I haven't been on that field, but from what we see, it's very great venue visually. There is a lot of skyscrapers around, but when we see like a drone view, you see there is a big river on the side.
Yeah.
And I actually really, as an archer, didn't enjoy venues that were in these conditions, because between tall buildings there are like these wind corridors.
Yeah, it funnels. Yeah.
Yeah, and also when you build up the field, the finals venue, the wind coming through the tribunes in certain places, so you might feel it on the shooting line, you might not feel it on the shooting line, and it's making it tricky. So again, we are here, the sofa warriors, so good to comment, but yeah, it's not as easy there. So now they have 10 and the 9 on the other side, on the left side, more to the left side. So yeah, definitely not easy there. But that was a solid shot, maybe most solid shot I've seen from Kim.
The first one was really good. I was going to say that I was going to put my sofa warrior cap on to say that in his case, it really looks like it's very clear that it's coming down to execution.
Yeah.
Like his good shots, they look amazing, but then he's also having very, shots where you can see where he's really struggling.
And 10-10-9, so third arrow, low 9.
Rishabh Yadav's last arrow, 28. I guess we have a tied score now.
9-10-9. So yeah, we should have 56-56.
56-56.
I have a question, Bernardo. When you were aiming, did you ever blink your eyes?
My first coach really didn't like me blinking.
Okay.
He would. This is something that ever since he told me that and ever since I see people doing it, I always remember about this. Because what's your take on that?
Yeah, I didn't blink as well, and I usually don't tell archers what to do, because I want to see what they naturally do, because I think it's instinctive to most people not to blink while they're aiming. But some archers do it, and I'm like always wondering how does it feel. But yeah, we saw the Indian archer was blinking while at full draw, so but Indian archer still looks very relaxed, very like maybe the most relaxed archer I've seen today.
Yeah, it was really cool. The joke, whatever internal joke he was having with his coach before, and
as soon as he finishes his 3 arrows and goes off from the shooting line, it also seems they are like having a friendly conversation, enjoying being there.
Of course, this is very personal, but man, like. You're not.
That X was solid shot. X for Kim
Jong-ho. But like when you're talking to your coach behind the line, in between sets, you're not gonna do anything spectacular in terms of like, oh, do this, do that. Really, realistically, all you can do is just try to relax, try to chill
and let your body do the shot that it has trained to do.
Exactly. Ooh.
That's 10, I think.
I'm calling it out. Let's see.
I think it's a 10. So it's a low 10-9 liner for Kim with his second arrow, and we have 9 and now a 10 for Yadav. So
yeah, in this shot we can really see Jong-ho's wide stance. Huh? Yeah, the feet very wide apart. That really not common in compound archery.
Yeah, but that also shows that he's bit older generation. Can I
sorry
say
to
this?
interrupt. The timing of this shot was. He just came here. 10. That was amazing. Sorry, but older generation.
These are
you were saying?
Oh, I don't know if I wouldn't say it on live TV again. But I don't mean it as a bad thing. So if you have been a recurve archer and you switch to compound, I think it often still has some sort of like influence on you, and that might be where it's coming from, I think.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that, I mean, basically no archers in Korea start in compound. I guess most of them, they start in recurve and then they go to compound. But I just looked it up. Kim Jong-ho is 30 years old and Rishabh Yadav is 22. And this is something I wanted to say. I was curious to look up his age because we can see that he has some gray hair, some white hair. And I really sympathize with that because I am 31, soon 32, and my beard, and I have a lot of white hair. So, like, yeah, Rishabh Yadav, he's my guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he looks a bit more tense now.
Yeah, definitely. But I think this 9 was upgraded to 10, so I was right. It was a 10 for
Kim.
Yes,
it was.
Yes.
Let me start the measure. Change this arrow.
So that means now we have 86, 85 after 9 arrows, and Yadav, Indian Archery, is behind, so he's shooting first, and he shot an X, so
spot on.
He really needs to keep the 10s coming to stay in the competition with Kim.
Kim Jong-ho dropped the
9,
point.
so
All
it's
square.
tight.
5 arrows left. Nothing in between these two.
Oh, that was nice X. So XX for Yadav.
Now, I wouldn't say he looks tense. He looks focused.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I still can't get over the fingers moving. Like, as soon as I see him shooting, it's so unusual sight to see in the finals. That big movement in both hands. And X, triple X.
The guy is a man on a mission. High five with the coach. Kim Jong-ho to try to do damage limitation here.
I think it's 10, yeah.
You called it before it landed.
Yes. Yeah.
Not bad.
But, I think it was good. So 115, 115.
3 arrows left.
He's happy.
To decide who steps on the last step of the podium, taking home bronze. Okay.
But I do think, it is quite often that men score are higher than women score. Not always, but still slightly a point or two higher, I think, in the finals even. But today, I feel the wind has got slightly better for the men compared to women, because
I
we
agree.
saw a lot of these t-shirts were really moving for women, and not just t-shirts, the whole bow was moving for
no, it was really challenging. It was what we heard Damangankar, I got it wrong, Madura from India, the gold medalist. We heard her say it was really like, let's take the challenge. But for the men's, it's at moments it's more like the traditional compound archer, like just pounding 10s. And
yes, and at least if there is still wind, all the trees are moving, but you can see that on the shooting line it doesn't affect them that much, and that already means a lot, because like we discussed before during women's matches, is that it's not only physically wind affecting you, it's wind getting in your head, influencing your confidence, and if you lose that, then no more 10s.
But also another factor is it is now 4:08 p.m. in Shanghai. When we started the session, it was 2 p.m. And so, as the day comes to an end, usually you have less wind as well.
Yeah. Unless there is a rainstorm coming or something.
Which could happen in Shanghai and actually happened throughout the week.
Yeah,
we had some days of competition where it was reportedly cold and very windy.
And some days sunny.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was any day where they said almost perfect conditions. I think there was some element always playing. So we have...
Arrow of the match. Kim Jong-ho did step up, shot a 30. That's what he needed. Rishabh Yadav, a 10 for a shoot-off.
So 30-30 for the fifth end. That's a great end. Well, not end, but that means it's 145 for after 15 arrows. and we have a shoot-off.
Really cool. Really cool.
Which means they will both shoot one arrow, and closest to the center will win. So they are going to put new target faces, so it's very much more easy for the judges, the target judge, to actually verify which arrow is closer to the center.
And really cool, we saw there the agents getting the arrows for the athletes, and then who's getting the arrows, who's the agent for Rishabh Yadav is Venom.
Yeah.
Like also outstanding compound archer woman from India. And then maybe we're gonna end up seeing in LA maybe Yadav and Venom shooting
Yes.
together for the mixed team competition.
We'll see. 3 years is a long time. A lot can change. The whole national team could be of new faces.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel in archery, experience really matters, and maybe even more than in some other sports. And it could be that, yes, like you say, we will see them, maybe.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Because if you haven't heard the news, compound is in Olympics now. There will be 12 mixed teams. No individual competition.
Yeah.
12 mixed teams. So it is not confirmed yet, the full qualification process, but most likely world champion. Most likely there will be either continental champions or continental game winners, and I would assume couple of teams also by world ranking. So it will be total of 12 countries. And looking at the history, India and Korea have been both strong on compound side as well. And that's why we come here for a shoot-off, for a bronze medal match now.
Heartbeat sound and the arena. Kim Jong-ho full draw. Taking a bit long, bow moving. That's a liner.
10-9 liner.
A 10 on the line. There is room for improvement.
He was definitely struggling, but
Rishabh Yadav.
Not sure if the struggle was from wind or from
the wind blowing on the hair of our Bollywood star. It's closer.
Yeah,
it's a 10. Yes. High five with his coach.
And the smile again.
Big smile, big smile. The second medal for Team India in the individual competition in the compound division. Yeah,
but
coaches.
Korea also has a medal because they have another archery in gold medal match, Choi. So Kim is leaving right now with the 4th place because his 10 was further from the center, but they still have a medal.
Wow, very broad smile. Yeah,
very happy.
Really cool. Okay. So we know that bronze medal in the compound men individual goes to India, but gold, will it be Korea or Netherlands? All due respect to the Korean fans, I think it's Mike Schlosser's gold medal to lose from what we saw.
Yeah, my guess would be that for us to see the contrary, meaning that Korean archer taking the gold over Netherlands Mike Schlosser. For that, we would need to see Mike losing his zone, his composure and his concentration on shooting the 10s, because we haven't seen the winds playing that strongly on the men's matches. So I think it comes down more to archers, and Mike Schlosser is very well known for shooting tens throughout the competition, in qualification, elimination, and also in the finals. So yeah.
Yeah, and what a shot from Shanghai skyline, huh?
Yeah.
Really cool. I was there last year. It's
impressive. I think
it's impressive. It's mind blowing. Shanghai is mind blowing.
I've been to Shanghai, but not in that venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there we have the updated schedule. 7 matches done, only 1 to go. The grand final in the men's side. Let me take a look at some comments. I want to bring back a comment that I read earlier. A really cool comment. We had an Indian archer. Wait a second. Here. Iniki Ravi, he said, I will be there soon at the competition within 10 years. Recurve man representing India. Nikki, I
Should
wish
we
you all the
write it
best.
down?
Oh well, he's the most important person that he has just to remember that. But Nikki, I wish you all the best. Go
Yes.
for it, man.
Yeah, for sure.
And one day maybe we're gonna be here on the watch along commenting
What
you.
is cool is with archery, I think, is that you can start in any age. I have no idea how old he or she is, but you can start at 10 years old and you can start at 30 years old. I don't think we have too many examples of really being on top level when you have actually started already as an adult. But I'm sure there are some archers. Plus, why this might be is also the fact that when you start as an adult, you have already so many other commitments, and you just don't have that time to put in the hours and effort that's needed, because it looks easy on the screen. If you can see, especially compounds, mostly shooting only tens. Mike Schlosser in the last match shot 14 tens and only 1 9. It looks easy. It is ton of work behind it. So
yeah, looks effortless.
Yep, and
But
you
there
can't really do it only besides working and picking it up when you are already past the time where you could do it after school or or as a professional. So yeah, now we have the match started. First end, Mike Schlosser is shooting first, and then in the second end, whoever is behind shoots first. But we have 10-10 from Mike Schlosser and 9-9 on the left side from Choi Young-hee. So I think Choi finished more on the left side as well.
The semifinal.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
Mike Schlosser dropping his second 9 of the afternoon. But that's not going to be too bad.
But he's kind of like, okay.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
At least I didn't see a strong reaction from him.
Yeah.
So.
Still leading by 1 point after end number 1. There is something I wanted to say before already. We were wondering about pronunciation of names. And then I just wanted to say that I know that romanization of names that are written in other alphabets is always a tricky thing. But Choi Young-hee, I know that Choi, it's actually pronounced in Korean Choi.
Choi.
Choi. So it's Choi Young-hee. So for for the record, there was a funny comment. I liked it here. Chris Gaskell, he said this. This is definitely the way to get people interested in compound archery before the Olympics. It's like watching the House of Lords live on a slow day. So
we take that.
We take the compliment.
Yes.
Well, thanks for that, Chris, and thanks for being here with us and for leaving a comment. That's really cool, and I hope you are enjoying the House of Lords live on a slow day.
Yes.
Well, Saindeep Mahanti, I have a question. I joined just now. What's the medal table? That's a good question. I'll try to look that up real quick after the next end because I'm going to be plotting the arrows.
So at the moment where the situation is that we are in the bronze medal match, we have Korean archer against Netherlands archer, Choi against Schlosser.
I'd say that's out.
And Choi started the set. So, and Mike Schlosser has dropped 1 arrow out of 10, but he's continuing with the 10. So, but for
And
Choi
still
is
to the left.
yeah,
Still to the
Choi
left.
still has all the arrows to the left and probably 2 9s. One is 10-9 liner. So this is gold medal match. Sorry, I said bronze, but it's gold medal match.
Amazing bow kondo by Mr. Perfect, landing on the X. The guy knows how to do it.
Yeah. 9.
9.
It's more 9 than the first one.
Man, I'm sorry, but Choi Young-hee, he's nowhere to be found so far in this match, huh?
Yep.
Really? How many 10s?
5.
1? Maybe 2?
1.
Yeah, maybe 2 because there is a liner that we need to
Yeah.
check.
I think it will stay a 9, but we'll see.
But
Even Mike himself is joking about the fact that he is
yeah, he
throwing the
did it.
bow,
Yeah,
but it's still a 10.
yeah. I Do you know where that we can see medals table?
Yes, so there is usually there is a PDF on the right side with the medal standing, but it might be published only after the
Yeah,
full
maybe
medal.
after the event. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But what we had in the morning was compound, not in the morning, but just the previous matches in the afternoon was compound women's individual. There we had Turkey getting the bronze medal and USA getting a silver and India taking the gold. And now we got the bronze going to India. And we are in the gold medal match. So that's the standing for compound individual. For teams, I can check as well. So I can tell you which country has the most medals.
Medals in the compound. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
All right. Beautiful shot. Both targets. Clearly, there is less wind because the trees that we see there in the background, they were all over when the women were shooting earlier today, but now much steadier conditions for the men. And yeah, Choi Young-hee struggling with these conditions. Not good news for him because Mr. Perfect is
and 3-point difference is quite big for men's individual final, I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Especially if it's not super windy anymore.
And he looks puzzled, right?
Yeah.
He's shooting kind of like not really knowing where to aim, what's going on. Mike Schlosser, on the other hand,
X.
calm and composed. X,
Yes.
effortless. The future dad on his way to God knows how many stage wins. But Choi is giving an answer. 210 so far in this end. Oh, but better than 210s is 2 X's, I have to say. Choi Young-hee, his last arrow, shoots an X as well. So a 30. That comes at a good moment for him after 228s.
Yeah. So if Mike manages another 10, another X,
Another X.
triple X.
There you go.
So we have 89, 86, 3-point difference. But now it's a good moment to come to the team medalists, and the golds went to 3 different countries. So women's team went to Mexico against India. So India went with the silver, and men's team went to India. India beat Mexico in the men's team gold match, and mixed team was Great Britain.
Great Britain, yeah. It was. I watched that before coming to the studio. So then back to the medal tally, the medal table. Then we have India with 3 golds or 2? No, 2 golds.
2 golds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great Britain with 1. That was the mixed team.
Yeah.
Women's team who won? Mexico.
Yes. So I think India is the only one with 2 golds.
2 golds, yeah.
And from that much,
there you have it.
Even if a huge upset should happen, that Choi takes back 3-point loss in the next 6 arrows, then Korea doesn't have a gold right now, although they made the world record with the men's team.
Yeah. That's really impressive. Like it. Maybe I'm old school, but I'm always like with this thing like Korea does recurve world records and the US does compound world records.
Yeah.
But
it's changing,
yeah.
definitely.
Ooh.
I think compound the national team's level for compounds is really raising globally.
Yeah.
And it reflects like it wouldn't have been getting to Olympics otherwise. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm really curious to see like 20 years from now, what's going to be different in compound archery, because there's going to be a lot more funding. and so we're gonna see implications in ways that we really can't foresee right now.
And I see Trey struggling again. He got the 10, but with the last arrow, but
Yeah, but with Mike dropping a 9, he really should have taken the opportunity, because every
yeah.
single point counts in a gold medal match like this. So he managed. Okay, he tied last set 30-30, but then this one he tied again, and now he only has 3 arrows left. That
Yeah.
means he needs to shoot a 30 and hope Mike will shoot a 27.
Yeah, very
seems
unlikely. Not
very
impossible, but
unlikely.
very unlikely.
Yeah.
So we guess that for the countries having a gold from this event, Netherlands probably will be added.
There is Sanjay Shonjin. He said something. Turkey just set a world record. Say something about it. Did?
Yes, there
Which-
was, but let me check which one it was.
Yeah.
But I think there were. He's right. They are right.
Wow, Sirat's on
Records.
it. Archer's ready, just behind the
So-
line, ready to go. Judge signals the begin of 5th end. It'll be once again Tre Young-hee shooting first for Korea.
So compound mixed team world record was with Turkey.
With 10 axes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
There you go.
160. It was already maximum score before, but it's with 10 X's. So
Yeah.
actually, you remembered.
Yeah, the previous one was from Denmark, if I remember correctly.
There were also 3 Asian records and 1 European record. So the compound mixed team obviously is European record.
Where do you check that?
There is a PDF with the records as well.
Okay.
Broken records.
Tre Young-hee. Oh, yet another 9, just out of the line. I'm afraid that this is done and dusted in this gold medal final. And guess what? Mike Schlosser shooting another axe. Tre Young-hee's last arrow in the competition, well, finished well with an axe.
Yeah.
Got a good feeling. Now, Mike Schlosser. Arrow of the match at full draw. And a 9, a high 9. But that's more than enough. 147 to 144. Yet another stage win for Mr. Perfect from the Netherlands, and books himself a ticket at the grand final that is going to be in China as well. It's going to be in Nanjing in October, later this year. And hats off to Tre Young-hee from Korea for making it to the final and putting up a fight. But in the end, his efforts were no match for this man who's after this trophy that we see over there.
Yeah.
I remember we had this trophy here in the studio, and then last time I wanted to have it, and maybe they took it with them.
Yeah,
No.
they need it eventually to give them
for
out
the-
during the event. So there is less and less to actually have.
To have here lying here on
yes,
the Archery
yes,
Plus studio.
Yes. But because they are very unique, they are specially made, and you cannot just have it from any random prize store.
Yeah.
So it makes sense not to have many of them around. But yeah, that was the compound day, which is closing with the men's medal ceremonies. But because I don't like to sleep on Sunday mornings, I will be here tomorrow as well.
You'll be here, Sirat. That's great news for spectators, bad news for you to wake up 5 a.m. on a Sunday, but this is what we do.
Yes,
Just-
and but it will be interesting in a sense of having recurve matches, and I'm most looking forward to men's finals. Women's definitely will be interesting as well, but I think the men's this time are going to be especially interesting. Looking forward to it to see it tomorrow, and yeah, that's.
Yeah, I just made a mistake because we got our... okay, I know what I did wrong. That's okay. Apologize for that. We should be back in a moment. But yeah, so there we have the updated schedule. All 8 matches done, and we can hear from Mike Schlosser himself. Interview coming up.
So Mike Schlosser answered to the interviewer that he's actually happy with his shooting because he knew that the conditions are not perfect, and but he still managed and did well. So. And then he said the same that we said about the weather earlier. It has been changing throughout the week. So every day you go to the field and you are wondering like what's going to wait for you there today.
Well,
okay, so
yeah.
we mentioned the baby on the way, and he said the same thing, that the season so far actually has been maybe slightly different because family comes first, and he's not even sure if he will be in any other World Cup stages, but he actually managed what he needed. He got the pass to the final.
To the final,
so
yeah.
he
So he really
actually
doesn't have to.
To get to the final, he doesn't need to do more World Cup. So good,
So-
well done.
So he can just be with his wife Gabby
yeah,
until the baby is born, and
Yeah.
that's great stuff.
should be born just a bit before the final, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But leaving a month or 2 old baby home and not going
That's
to be
hard.
easy as well.
I think the hardest thing for athletes is imagine like if you miss the birth,
yeah.
and a lot of athletes it happens, right, that you
Yeah,
miss the birth
yeah.
of your own child.
From his comment, it seemed that he is not planning on doing that. Although I don't know what is the situation with the World Games because the timing might be around there.
That's
but
right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, in case you don't know, World Games features compound archery already for a good number of editions now. And at last, we managed to have compound archery joining the Olympic Games program. So super, super excited about that. And well, so just going through everything that we've had today. We've had the compound women individual matches first. We've just had the compound men, and now we see the very beautiful medals and the fans that athletes are getting. And as they get ready to go to the medal ceremony, Rishabh Yadav, the Banta guy, the guy who's really having the best time today, is laughing with Mike Schlosser and everything as we get ready for the medal ceremony. But then, Mike Schlosser, ticket booked for the grand final, while the others, even though they haven't booked the ticket directly,
They got good points.
They earn very good points for that.
So another podium or top 8 would, top 8 is not always enough, but
and the
might
qualification round
Yeah.
awards points as well. All right then. Well, as you said, Siret, you're going to be back here tomorrow.
Yes.
Early morning start for both of us to watch Recurve. And Recurve, we feel even more confident to talk about. Even though archery is kind of like this one thing. Even Kudo, we were having a crack at it today.
Yes.
But, basically just final thoughts and what caught your attention the most in today's session.
So for me, definitely it was the wind that was playing a huge role in the women's shooting. We saw a lot of shots where archers were smiling after a 9. I think it happened on the women's side quite often. But on the men's side, we really saw the experience and the Mike again doing his thing and earning his name of Mr. Perfect, not being perfect, but to consider that it was windy conditions, and as he said, the conditions have been changing every day. Then to consider that he scored well in both matches, in semifinal and in the gold medal match. So yeah, I think that's was very cool to see.
Yeah, what you said about him confirming his nickname of Mr. Perfect on the right hand side of the screen on the schedule, we can look, and I was just taking a look at this right now. Mike Schlosser, in the whole afternoon, he dropped 4 points.
Yeah.
Rishabh Yadav, in his first match, he dropped 7 already in the first match.
Yes.
And Kim Jong-ho, he dropped 5. And Choi Young-hee, he dropped 4 as well. So it's like all afternoon, Mike Schlosser, he dropped less points than everybody else.
In 2
dropped
matches.
in only, yeah, and everybody else in the first match.
In the first match, yes.
So really, really impressive. I was right in my call that he was the favorite.
Yeah.
But just so impressive.
But I guess he really had this goal in mind. He wants to be home with his family and to ensure that he has the finals quota ticket already to go. Then he needed this win, so he took it.
Man, and the medal was very beautiful, huh?
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Yeah.
Very nice.
And also getting the fan. But I don't know if you saw the first stage in Central Florida, nothing ever is going to beat the fact that the podium finishers in Central Florida, they got a capybara with a turtle.
Yeah.
That was the most amazing thing.
Yes, it was very cute.
Yeah, Mike Schlosser getting his gold medal. Well, Sirat, maybe you say a couple of words in Estonian to our very loyal Estonian audience. Just some final words in Estonian.
Mina ütlen, et ma arvan, et Eesti viibuspordis on väga palju, mida tähistada ja ma soovin kõigile edu ja nüüd meil on compound ehk plokkviibu ka olümpial ja ma arvan, kõik asjad lähevad hästi, nii et edu teile ja meile kõigile.
I couldn't agree more. Well, I guess we'll call it a day then.
Yep.
It's time to go grab some croissants and some coffee.
Yeah.
And work for
and
you.
And you can study some Estonian until tomorrow.
Until tomorrow, yeah. God help me with that. Well, Sirat, thank you so much for coming to the show today. We're going to be back here, same time. And to watch Recurve Archery, it'll be Recurve Sunday in the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. And just a final reminder that this is a watch along. We're here to make you company watching the live feed, the actual broadcast. There is a QR code just over here that will take you to Archery Plus, where you can watch all the action directly and here hopefully having some good time with us as we talk about tattoos, wind, names, babies, and everything else. Well, I am Bernardo Oliveira, Brazilian Olympic archer. It's been a pleasure being with you here today. Thanks so much for joining, and we'll be back here tomorrow. I'll see you then.